Thank you for watching Hexagon Geospatial e-training. In this module, we'll see how to work with scaling and tooltips within GeoMedia. Let's begin by understanding the different types of scaling available when working within GeoMedia. There are two basic modes of style scaling, view scaling and paper scaling. When using view scaling, the size of the items remains the same regardless of the scale at which the data is being viewed. Paper scaling sets the style to its ideal size at a fixed map scale, called the nominal map scale. When the map window is displayed at this scale, the items are displayed at their ideal size and will get larger or smaller as the map zooms in and out. I'll open GeoMedia to see an example of both scaling methods. For our example today, I'm working with ProStudy GeoWorkspace, a predefined GeoWorkspace that contains data representing downtown Huntsville, Alabama. There are 4 feature classes in the legend: address point text, address points, street casings, and parcels. We'll focus first on the GDO text of address points, or the address text. I'll use the Zoom tool on the Home tab to zoom into the map area and see the behavior of the text within the map window. As we zoom in, the text size remains the same. This is consistent with the definition of view scaling. Whether we zoom in or out of the data, the text size remains the same. I'll click within the map window and select Fit All to again see the full extent of the data. Now I'll change the display properties for the text and point address entries to paper scaling. I'll select the GDO address points, hold down the Control key, and select the address points legend entry. Then I'll right-click, select the Style Scaling option, and change it to paper. Initially, this text does not fit the map well. This text was designed to be displayed at a nominal map scale of 1 to 1200. As you can see, our current map scale is 1 to 6365. Now I'll change the nominal map scale to 1 to 1200. From the Properties and Information group on the Home tab, I'll click Map Display to open the Display Properties dialog. I'll change the nominal map scale to 1200, click Apply, and close the dialog. With the change, we can see the text size is much more appropriate for the parcels that are being displayed. Now when we zoom in and out, the text size changes with respect to the screen, which is consistent with the definition of paper scaling. Now I'll zoom to the nominal map scale. On the Home tab in the Extent group, I'll select Zoom to Nominal Map Scale. Now the screen is displayed at 1 to 1200 and the text is displayed at its ideal size. To make the address display a little cleaner, I'll right-click on the address points legend entry and select Delete to remove this from the map window. This creates a much nicer display by only using the text for the addresses. As you zoom in and out of the map window, some features may become too small and no longer legible. The Display by Scale option can be used to automatically turn features on and off as the map display scale changes. I'll use my zoom tools to help me determine an ideal display scale range. Again, I'll resize the data to the window using the Fit tool on the Home tab. Next, I'll use the Zoom In tool to zoom in until the text is legible. The display scale is always reported in the bottom right corner of the GeoWorkspace. As the text becomes legible, I'll make note of the scale. Here we see the scale is currently 1 to 776. I'll write this down. Now I'll right-click on the GDO text of address points legend entry and select Display Scale Range. In the dialog that opens, I'll enter a maximum value just larger than the value I wrote down. In this case, I'll use 800. I'll click OK and Yes to change the display options to Display by Scale. Notice that the scale bar icon has been added next to the address legend entry, indicating the Display by Scale option is now active. I'll now use the Zoom Out tool to zoom out of my data. When we zoom out beyond our defined range, in this case 1 to 1552, the text turns off. If I zoom back in, less than 1 to 800, the text is again displayed. Now let's explore tooltips. A tooltip is a quick and easy way of getting label information without formally displaying the attribute information in the view. I'll start by adjusting my view and adding a new legend entry. First, I'll select Parcels in the legend, right-click, and select Fit by Legend Entry. Next, from the Legend group on the Home tab, I'll select Legend, Add Legend Entries. In the Access connection, I'll select Street Centers to add it to the legend and display the street center lines. I'll use this feature class to generate the tooltips. From the legend, I'll select Street Centers, right-click, highlight Map Window Tooltip to activate the secondary menu. On this menu, I'll highlight Attributes, then continue to drag to select the attribute I want to display as the tooltip. Here, I'll select SFEANME. Now, when I move my cursor over a street center and hover, the tooltip displays, showing the street name. By selecting Attribute from the Tooltip menu, only one attribute will be displayed. To display multiple attributes, for example, to add a street type after the street name, we can build an expression to use as our tooltip. In the legend, I'll again right-click on Street Center Lines, select Map Window Tooltip, Expression. This opens the Expression Builder. The attribute I previously selected is already populated in the dialog. Now I can add to it. I'll select the plus sign, type double quote, space, double quote, and select the plus sign again. Now under Categories, I'll select Text, and under Functions, I'll select Format Attribute. Then I'll click Paste to add to the expression. Notice the position of the cursor in the expression. I'll now add the attribute definition by selecting it from the attribute list. Once I click on the attribute name, it will be added to the expression at the cursor location. Under Attribute, I'll scroll down until I see Input SF Type and double-click on it to add it to the expression. I'll click OK to close the dialog box. Now, when I hover over a street, I'll see the street name and street type, such as Meridian Street, and the other examples we see here. Thank you for watching this e-training module from Hexagon Geospatial. For more e-training, please visit hexagongeospatial.com/etraining.